We're live.
What's up, guys? We're live with Spencer, and just chatted with him the first time I ever spoke with him. Like I was telling you, like literally a week ago, I found out about you. I was doing some research, and then everyone I was talking to, I was asking like, "Hey, you have any questions for Spencer?" They were all like highly touting you in like your expertise and how much you've impacted other people. Because there's a lot of people who talk a lot, but there's not a lot of people who like are impacting the community. Like Lindsay was telling me all the things you helped them with. So I kind of want to go back in time a little bit, and can you give me a little bit of a backstory, like, because this happened pretty quick for you, right? In the span of a few years.
18 months. I mean, I've been doing it for a while, but 18 months of success. So yeah.
What was life like before that? Like, was there low points, or were you doing something else? Were you monetizing somewhere else, or?
I was working a day job. Yeah, I wouldn't say low points. I mean, I guess there were a few low points. Like, I don't think you could possibly succeed as an entrepreneur without a couple of low points in there. But yeah, I just worked a 9 to 5. I was a digital marketer, and all this stuff was kind of a side hustle. I went through a lot of different things like stock market, real estate. Kind of the journey a lot of entrepreneurs go through, where they try to figure what works with them, what they're good at, and what they enjoy doing. Some things I was good at, but I hated, and some things I was horrible at, and I hated them. So yeah, doing a lot of that. And then even from the time I discovered affiliate marketing and learned a lot about that, it still took a year of like trying things, learning from different people. Affiliate marketing is funny because there's really a variety of ways you can do it, ranging from like just the ultimate spammer, to like the ultimate value giver. And then there's like all these people in between there. And so learned a lot, tried a lot, all along that spectrum, and kind of settled on, I don't like being the ultimate spammer, like this isn't how I want to be. And so kind of steered more towards you. We talked a little bit before this about Pat Flynn and kind of the model that he uses, and I love the Pat Flynn model.
Cool. All right, we got some. If you guys are on live, give me a hashtag live, and if you're in an echo, and if you're on replay, give me a hashtag replay. Paul's here. Paul, I'm gonna ask him some of your questions later. What's up, Joel? Two amazing people, man. You're amazing, dude. Okay, so when did you make your first $1 with affiliate marketing? How long did that take?
First $1. That probably took like 6 months for the $1.
Yes. You have that on your wall, just a $1 bill.
Yeah, I should have pinned it, right? But it's digital. So, but it was Instagram, and I was like I said, I didn't love what I was doing before. I was like posting pictures of money and doing like stock market courses. I was sending people to courses on the stock market. So my first $1 was actually I think it was like $6 off of I sent them to a Udemy course, which is actually a decent course. But yeah, it took me months and months of like building out a website and landing pages and stuff, and then getting Instagram moving. And then, in the end, I made off that method like probably $400 or $500, and that was 6 months of work.
Gotcha. So I don't know if you guys know about, who are watching that. I'm sure if everyone's in the Clickfunnels world, you've probably seen it blasted to your email, the 30-day summit that's going on right now. And it's awesome because you're one of the 30, was it 32 people or 30 people in it?
Yeah, I think it's 30.
Okay. How is that? And you were telling me like you did that a while ago. How was that experience? Like, because this is like awesome what Russell's created. Like it's I haven't seen anything like it. So.
Oh yeah, it's the coolest thing ever. Maybe other people feel this way. I don't know. You feel really intimidated, right? It's like, hey, we're gonna get 30 people, and you're like looking at the other names, and you're like, no, I don't belong on that list. Go find someone else. And I actually said something like that because I've obtained, like, I've done 7 figures off the Clickfunnels affiliate program, but I haven't done it all through like a single funnel, which is typically how Clickfunnels awards their 2 comma and how they how they think. And so I told him that. I was like, a single funnel. It's done $1 million, and he was like, oh, that's okay. Like, come on in. I was like, all right, if you're sure, and like, let's do it. So yeah, it's really cool. The book is just crazy. So worth $100. Where else can you get 30 people that have just annihilated it in different spaces online and be able to learn from each one of them how they did it.
So, like, what was your psychology? Like, I'm sure, like, when you first started online, like, is there a reason you chose affiliate marketing rather than all these other ways to like make money online?
Yeah, it started working for me. No, part of it is I started to see success as an affiliate marketer. So I was like, oh, okay. And then part of it, as I learned more about affiliate marketing, I really came to love the model when done right. So like in my mind, affiliate marketing is this, right? We've got a company, we've got a customer, and then we've got me, the affiliate, and I can provide just oodles and massive amounts of free value, training, all kinds of things to this customer. And so the customer totally loves you. You're just giving them all kinds of free stuff. And then in that process, you're referring them to different software companies and things like that. And you're able to make commissions in the process coming from the company. But on your end, you're not selling things. And that's what I suck at, is selling things. And so it's like, oh, I can make a ton of money online and never sell anything, and there's no one that doesn't like you because you're just providing value on the internet. You're not selling anything ever. You don't have to deal with customer support. You don't have to deal with the scariness of being a salesperson, the pressure of that. And you can still succeed just as much as anyone else.
Okay. So I was reading about this in your 30-day plan as well for the summit. If you guys have it, check it out. It's freaking awesome. But I know the most important, and it's in .com secrets too. The most important segment, or let me know if it's the most important, is like the soap opera sequence, which is like, when you first get people on your list and like, indoctrinating them, having them trust you and such. Like, how important is that process for you? And how do you create your soap opera sequence, really?
Yeah, I've created like 4 or 5. Like, I'll keep going back and editing it because I'm not totally happy with what I have, and my story changes as time goes on and things like that. But yeah, it's really a matter of finding your motivation. Like, it's really a stretch because a lot of us can't remember where it all began. Like what brought them into like wanting to do all this stuff, and so that took me a while to really think through all that. But it's a matter of figuring out what your motivation is, and then finding your lowest points along the way, which you really can't not have those. Like, that's just life, and definitely life as an entrepreneur. And so for me, it's all about there's 2 things that I always say. One, I want my soap opera to connect, so they connect with me and they like me and they feel like I'm their friend and things like that. And then they trust me. So meaning if I sell them something in the future, or I recommend something, they have the sense of trust, like he's doing this for my best interest. And then the third thing is they trust my knowledge. So they trust that I know what I'm talking about, and that not only am I going to do it in their best interest, but I'm actually going to be right when I tell them to do something. And those are kind of the 3 things that I try to, in this 4 to 5 email sequence, try to get them to believe. They connect, they trust, and they value the stuff. They value the stuff that I say. And then I always do something at the end, and this is something I've been pushing really hard lately, and it's really been working. Is I always try to get them to reply. So I'll do one final email, and it's as motivational as I can possibly make it. Just like a go get them email, and then I'll have them reply to me with something, and I get tons of responses to that. Like, oh yeah, I'm in. Like, yes, let's go get them. Like, I'm so excited. And not only do I get in their inbox more after that, but it just kind of is cool to get responses from people, and realize oh, that email impacted somebody.
Gotcha. Kevin's like, what's up, guys? Spencer's a legend. You're a legend, Kevin, just so you know. Joel asked, what niche is working well for you? I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I do solely the entrepreneurship niche, but in terms of products that I promote, I talk a lot about this. I almost focus exclusively on software products, and specifically software products with recurring revenue. I consider that model a way that you can do a little, the work you do now can yield results for a much longer amount of time than if you're selling a single course or something that's a single payment. So I don't know if that's a niche, but I do entrepreneurship niche softwares with recurring revenues.
Okay. This is a beginner question coming from me. So let's say you're starting out in affiliate marketing and you're trying to, promote different softwares, and it might target a different audience or a different kind of person. Are you deliberate on how you segment your list?
I'm not super, honestly. So I do have a segmented list, but it's 2 segments, and I talk about this, I think, in the 30-day summit. And hopefully this is what I talked about, but I have a hot and a cold.
Yeah, it was high quality and low quality. I remember.
Yeah, high quality and low quality, hot and cold. I can't remember how I label them now. But yeah, I have a high quality list of people that in some way, whether they bought something from me, or they've come from a source that I consider a really high quality person. And an example of that is if somebody gets on YouTube and they search Clickfunnels review, or what is Clickfunnels, or something like that, right? I consider that person a high quality person because they're actively seeking to grow themselves and potentially, get into some kind of online business, versus somebody that I bring in from Instagram who's like flashing through Instagram, and I might have caught their interest for like 1 second with a free value offer, and they're able to put in their email address. But that person really hasn't shown that they're like a high quality person, right? Someone that may be willing to spend like $900 on themselves or spend $100 every single month on themselves. They've just shown that like for 1 second they had interest in what I had to talk about. And so the two sequences get very different offers. The smaller sequences, I guess, or the lower quality sequences, they get much cheaper offers, like these kind of smaller, cheaper courses, less commitment and things like that. And like the way it's working now is when they get to the end, if they've opened a lot of emails and they've actually interacted, they move into a high quality sequence. And the high quality sequences, right? It's like lots of training on like Clickfunnels and what that can do for your business and how to do what I do. And then I sell my course and things like that. But they're a lot more expensive, a lot more like monthly recurring things that come through in that high quality sequence.
Gotcha. And it's interesting. How much has Instagram grown to be like a part of your traffic source? Like, is it growing more, or like, what's the percentage of it, kind of roughly?
Yeah, it's growing more. So if you look at my Instagram page, it's only been running for like 3 months. So at least the one I'm doing right now. So Instagram is not yet a huge part of it. Like, it's happening. But as far as like what got me to where I am at today, Instagram was not what did that. It's kind of what's helping hopefully propel me into a more beneficial future.
It's more the organic route. Okay.
Yeah, I do much more. Like if you look at my leads and stuff, much more coming in through places like YouTube and search places.
Okay. I have a question from Paul. He asked, how do you get fast growth in affiliate marketing with a limited budget?
Fast growth, limited budget. Isn't that the question? There's because you're looking at money and time, right? You can give money, you can give time. And if you're giving time, it's going to take a lot longer. But it really is a matter of reinvesting. And so I would say my growth was really fast, 18 months. And I had a pretty much budget of zero to start, right? And I pumped out a ton of content on YouTube and stuff. And that was able to bring in some money, a couple hundred bucks. And that went immediately into paid stuff. And every month it went into different sources of paid, whether it was Facebook, YouTube, or Google. And so that's the scalability there. And then if you can get some more money the next month you make 500, that gets pumped back in. That's really the only way you can scale quickly. And there's no really way, like in the first 30 days, if you don't have money, to go and just make a bunch of money unless you take on clients, which isn't what I teach or like do well.
Gotcha. Chad, he says, yo, Spencer, I have your Builderpreneur course. That came from my ClickFunnels subscription. Helped me out a lot. Thanks, mate. Boom.
Oh, cool.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So one of the things I do give is anybody that signs up gets a bunch of bonuses and things. And the bonuses are all geared around like helping them learn the software and then stay with the software, right? So they can, not only does it help them, but it helps me as the longer they stay with ClickFunnels, the longer I make money and the more successful they become.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about your course, Builderpreneur?
Yeah, I think I'm not positive, but I think the course he's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a couple. I think what he's talking about is it's a free one I give. If somebody signs up to ClickFunnels through my link, it's basically a 14-day course that helps them get their account set up, get their first funnel set up, learn. A lot of people come in with like no knowledge of traffic at all, like how that all works. So it helps them kind of learn the different traffic sources, sends them off to Udemy to learn if they want to buy a cheap course and learn a specific traffic method better. So yeah, the whole idea around that, I mean, it's obviously helping me and it's helping them. But I think that's the course that we're talking about there. And I have a couple of those. Like I have one of those we're building for email marketing, meaning if they sign up for my link for ActiveCampaign, they're then given a course that's going to help them succeed with ActiveCampaign and thus keep them using ActiveCampaign.
Gotcha. Yeah, if you guys are interested in that, comment #builder, and then he'll probably shoot you a link after, or I will. Chad says it's legit, saved me a bunch of time and research. Awesome. I kind of want to get into workflow. When did you start? You have a team, correct?
I mean, I have one BA actually. So team.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was gonna ask you like, how important are VAs for you? But yeah.
I mean, she's crazy important. She does so much. She's one full time, and I can hand her pretty much anything at this point. Like, hey, do this, and give her a paragraph or two or a quick video, and she can she's familiar enough with ClickFunnels, familiar enough with Thinkific, familiar enough with all these softwares I use, Zapier, that she can just set it up. And
you said
super valuable.
Think
Go ahead.
something. You said think something.
So Thinkific is where I host the course.
Thinkific. Okay, I haven't heard of that. Okay. Something that, and I kind of got this idea from you, like, or I got this impression from you from your 30-day summit PDF, was that like, and you were saying this, like, you model success a lot. How, like, if you're gonna, like, you know, if you want to start ranking for certain brands, searches and YouTube, whatever, you see what's already going on, like what people are already doing and who's already having success. Is like, how important of like is that idea for you, like modeling success? You implement that a lot?
I think that's one of the huge mindset changes from my first 2 years of like failing to my next 2 years, is both modeling success and then paying the successful people to really, you know, show me the stuff. But yeah, I mean, I spend tons of time, and my wife always like mocks me for this because I'm just watching YouTube videos, right? But I spend a ton of time on YouTube, but it's not just like floating around YouTube. It's like very specifically figuring out like, what is, you know, why is this channel just crushing it? What are their videos? What are their thumbnails look like? What are they doing at the beginning and the end of the videos? You know, like, and you can really get a good idea of, okay, just from a couple hours of just, you know, fiddling around YouTube.
Yeah. What are your, like, kind of like your commandments when it comes to providing value? Like, what are the fundamentals? So like, you're not someone who's like trying to take advantage of their audience, and someone who's like comes across as someone who's really trying to help people.
So I've always said I won't promote anything that I don't use. And that's always been the case, but I have broken that like 1 or 2 times. So I have like some people that I trust that I'll let them, you know, I'll promote their stuff because I trust them well enough, and I see that they know what they're talking about. But for the most part, it's either you know, if I'm going to promote a course, I get the course and I go through the course. If I'm going to promote a software, I'm promoting the software because I'm using the software. Like, I use enough softwares in my business that I don't need to go out and find other ones. And so it's kind of hard because you get, you know, as you start to build an audience and things, you start getting reached out to like every day, like, hey, can you promote this? Can you promote this? Can you offer this? And so not only a lot of times are these things that I can't guarantee that it'll help my audience. And so I can't really write an email that like is that exciting, because I can just be like, hey, this guy says this is cool. But also it's a matter of distraction. Like, I stay very focused on my core affiliate offers. And I get all these other offers like, oh, please promote this. And even if I think, oh, that, you know, my audience could benefit from that, but it's just a distraction from like what I'm doing. Like, the amount of money that can bring in is a distraction from like this focus that I'm doing of really building up these, I call them my 5 core software products that I use and plan on getting like a full-time income from each one of them in the long run.
Okay. I'm curious, from my perspective, how did you get most people to start promoting your product? Was that just people who are already consuming your stuff? You just kind of transitioned them into that, or was there another way?
Yeah, that was the beauty of like teaching affiliate marketing, right? The course is on affiliate marketing. So the first email they get after they buy the course gives them the course, and the next email says, hey, if you like it, let's start promoting. You know, this could be the easiest promotion you have right now, is just posting on Facebook. You could sign up in like 30 seconds and make a couple Facebook posts. And the way I word it is 2 sales and the course, your money's completely back. The course is free for you. And that motivates people. I've read a book. And so if you are interested in this, you really have to read the book. It's called The Dream 100 by Dana Derricks. I don't know if you heard of that.
Yeah, I was just at the event, actually.
Motivating affiliates and like getting those affiliates excited and doing contests and things. And so I'm like, this most recent launch that I did, we had affiliates getting cruises and laptops and just fun things, you know, and you turn it into a contest, and people, even some people aren't going for like the laptop. They already have a laptop, right? They're going for the name recognition of like, oh, hey, people will see that I'm the number 1 promoter or the number 2 promoter of this course. And then I get a bunch of followers and kind of rise with the ship there.
That's awesome. Yeah. That concept, Dream 100, I was just at Dream 100 Con, and it was amazing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was got to connect with a lot of people. And I mean, that's what ClickFunnels is kind of built off of, the Dream 100 concept. Yeah. So quick question from Paul. He asked, when working part-time, what do you focus on first if you want to build your affiliate marketing?
So for me, it was always YouTube, because I talk about this in webinars and stuff. YouTube is this, what's the word I'm looking for?
Which is Google.
Cross point.
Yeah.
Say again?
Which is Google, right?
Which is Google,
pretty much.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
and the reason I like it is I can put content on YouTube, and one, I put a video out, and that video can make me money for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. That a single video, and therefore I've maximized my small amount of time that I have with that video. And then secondly, if that video is promoting a recurring software, then I'm getting, not only is the video bringing in money for a long time, but once that money starts coming in, then that that money source could start bringing in more money for a long period of time. So I always say start with YouTube because you get the most bang for the small amount of time that you might have with a YouTube video, in my opinion.
Gotcha. It's crazy that like out of all like the type of like platforms out there, social platforms, like YouTube's the only one I'm like, man, who's comes close to video? Like when it comes to YouTube, like they're pretty much like cemented in time.
They're in their own right. When it comes to search and video, yeah, there just isn't anything else out there because Google owns them. Smart move by Google.
Do you incorporate like pre-roll for affiliate offers in YouTube, like paid advertisements?
Oh, no. I mean, I think some of my videos are monetized just because I think.
No, I mean like, do you do paid like create video advertisements for affiliate offers?
Not really. No, I don't. I'm not even sure I totally understand what you're talking about. I really just do like training videos. So I'll teach something, or like, hey, I just figured this out, or I mean, there's a million different ways, but I kind of focus more on like the hot and the warm leads than I do.
Gotcha. I meant like if you could pay for pre-roll ads to show on channels and such, like, and then send that to an affiliate offer.
Oh, no, nothing like that.
Okay. Gotcha. What is your favorite paid advertising option? I'm pretty sure we all know. it's Google.
Right? Like I said, I find it hard, like for me to take somebody that's really cold and get them hot. That's not what I'm good at. I'm getting better at it, but I'm just not there yet. But Google is not that way. It's taking somebody that's hot and just solving a problem for them, which I think I do much better. So
cool. Justin Saunders asked, my dude, if you could go back in time and tell yourself one thing when first getting into affiliate marketing, what would that one thing be?
I've been asked this 3 times actually in the past like few days. And the first time I totally froze and had no solution. But I would tell myself to invest in something, in myself in some way. My first year, I like a lot of pride. I came in with like some digital marketing skills and SEO skills from previous jobs and stuff. And in my head, I was like, I get this, I can do it. I don't need to pay somebody. And like the first time I think I was introduced to like an expensive course, it like blew my mind. Like, are you kidding? You can't charge that much, And I'm like a year out of paying whatever, like 10 grand a semester, or whatever, for college, and here I am saying $1,000 course is expensive. But so I would change my mindset and basically just say, hey, the people that are doing what I want to do, I'm going to go connect with them. And those that like are really in line with what I want to do, I'm going to pay them to learn what they're doing. And I probably could have skipped a year of failures.
Gotcha. Okay. What is, I had a nice question, but I lost my mind. What's like the number one book that changed your life the most?
I'm trying to decide. So my favorite book is The 4-Hour Workweek. I've read that like 6 times, and every time I get new stuff out of it. But that changed my life the most is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because that's the book that I read that actually brought me into like the world that I'm in now. I had no concept of the entire like entrepreneurial world. It was college or bust for me. Like that was the only way to succeed. It was college or homelessness. And that book kind of opened up the world to me. So
it's crazy. I think the last 3 guests have said that.
Really?
Yeah. Like Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
How to Win Friends. And
that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I need to read it again. It's been like 2 years, but I just remember my mind just like imploding, like, holy cow, there's so much more out there that you don't even realize, these other people are doing so much.
Perfect. Komet asked, what's the number one thing you would tell someone who's just starting out in affiliate marketing?
I would say focus on creating value and content, like valuable content. And then like success will just kind of slowly start to happen naturally.
Okay.
And I say like a lot of, go ahead.
No, we're going to say a lot of what?
I was going to say, I feel like a lot of affiliates will create content, but everything's built in their mind around making money, and they're not really having the end user in mind, right? So create content that really is valuable, that really solves problems that people have on the internet. And naturally, eventually things will just start to fall into place.
Gotcha. How do you, for example, like creating your strategy for creating content for YouTube? Uh, how do you go about creating content when it's like brand versus like action based? Do you create a lot of content like for Google searches, or is that like straight to offer?
Yeah, so I'm kind of a mix. But most of it, yeah, is like Google, YouTube searches. I love search. I've talked about that. I love the hot nature of these leads, right? So I mean, the way that I started was just going for really hot leads, right? Like ClickFunnels trial, ClickFunnels sign up, ClickFunnels, these people that are just looking for it. And then I moved on to what I call the warm leads, where I'm answering questions on the internet that people are searching for, like, how do I do this? How do I do this? And then there's like a soft pitch or even just a mention of a software that I'm using somewhere in the video, right, with the link down below. And I really love that method of just like, oh, hey, you got this question. This is how I'm doing it. This is how I'm solving this problem. I'm using ActiveCampaign to automate this and this and this. And they're like, oh, that's cool. And then, oh, there's a link down below to ActiveCampaign. And then they just go sign up naturally, and I didn't really have to sell them. They just saw what I was doing. They realized it was cool and it sold themselves.
Gotcha. All right. So I got a few more questions here. If you guys have any more questions, ask them below because we're gonna wrap up not too long from now. But ActiveCampaign, like, how do you compare that to like the rest of the email service providers?
Oh man, I love it.
Big jump.
So I've gone through, like, I started in MailChimp, and I used that for like a year, and then suddenly realized there were better options, and I ended up in Aweber, which both MailChimp and Aweber, like, I don't know what you use, and I want to hit on anybody else's, but I just found those to be so archaic and like old. And then I ended up in like ConvertKit. I've tried SendLane. I've tried Drip. Like, I've really been through the grinder when it comes to email marketing, and I've used Actionetics and ClickFunnels. And I've just found ActiveCampaign to be so reliable. And every time I'm like, oh, I want to do this. I wonder if that's possible. It's always possible. Like, the option's always there. And I've just loved that about them.
Cool. Lindsay says, what's up? He says, what about SendLane?
Yeah, so I talk about how I refer people to SendLane that are affiliates a lot of times because ActiveCampaign has a fairly strict affiliate policy. So SendLane was what I considered like the closest to ActiveCampaign that actually allowed affiliate marketing. But I still use ActiveCampaign because they have not stopped me from doing it.
Gotcha. Kyle asked, what is I think I know the answer to this. What is the favorite, most successful product you ever made an offer for, and what was the offer you made for it?
I mean, besides ClickFunnels, it was
I feel like
I feel like a spammer, but it was Bitcoin. So and it wasn't an offer. Like I said, I don't make a ton of offers actually. It was a video I made. I think it was probably September of last year or something. I was getting interested in Bitcoin, as like was every human on the planet, right? And I Googled it and like learned how to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, which took 2 minutes. And I was like, okay, that was really easy. And I was like, there's probably a lot of other people like Googling the same thing. So I made like a 10-minute video on how to buy Bitcoin, right? This is how I bought Bitcoin. I use Coinbase. Coinbase gives you $10 when you refer somebody to them. Threw it on YouTube. Did the same like basic SEO stuff that I've done with everything else. But that video just exploded and was sitting at the top of YouTube for how to buy Bitcoin for 8 months. And that includes like the period in December when literally like the whole planet bought some Bitcoin. So I made $50,000, $60,000 off of that single video. That took me about an hour, right? And I never sold anything. I just said, here's how you do it, blah, 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 blah. You go into Coinbase, you click buy. Oh, by the way, there's a link to Coinbase down below. It's not even an offer, and yet it still made $60,000.
Yeah, that's interesting. Juan says this is lit. Do you kind of like go off of trending topics when you want to create affiliate products?
Somewhat. I'm pretty stuck. Like I talk about these like core ones like ClickFunnels and ActiveCampaign. Most of my content revolves around those. Like, I'm really pushing these, what I call my 5 core recurring software products. But yeah, if I keep a good eye on Google Trends and things like that. And if I do see something that seems like it's up and coming, then I'll always try to hop on and make a video like out of the blue. But for the most part, I've got a huge list of like keyword research that's already been created, and I'm pulling from that. And then I can slip in something if it seems like it's trending magically or something.
Gotcha. Cool. We got some nice comments here. Lindsay's trying to cause some trouble here, man. He's asking, who is your favorite affiliate for your course?
My favorite affiliate? I mean, are we allowed to play favorites with affiliates? I don't know who else watching. You got a bunch of viewers here.
You like them all, man.
I love
Anyone's an
all
affiliate.
my affiliates.
That's the answer, Lindsay. Juan asked, what are the best sources to start learning affiliate marketing? Obviously, you can shout out whatever you're doing. So
yeah, so I have a course at affiliatesecrets.co. It's $897 right now, so that's not .com, .co. It's $897, but I also have a free course if you're really like brand new and don't have the money to invest or whatever. In my Facebook group, Automation Nation, there's a free affiliate marketing course, kind of a get started guide. If you want to spend a little bit, but you don't have enough to spend $897, there's Udemy. Udemy has a lot of like courses where people will show like really specific strategies that they're using for Bing or whatever. And those are really cheap. So I'd say depending on your budget, totally free in my group. Udemy's got some cheap ones, and then my full course, which is kind of like everything that I know and learned at affiliatesecrets.co.
Cool. And if you guys want the link to that, just comment below. I'm sure he'll toss a link for you. Cool. If you guys have no more questions, I'm going to ask him one more question, and then we're going to wrap up here. What does creating a legacy mean to you?
Is that the question you ask everybody?
Yeah, it's legacy podcasters, man.
Yeah, no, super. In the beginning, it was really just all about like, I didn't like my job and I wanted to quit and I wanted to get enough money to do that. But it in the last like year, I was like, oh, now I'm making enough money, and you're kind of like, well, what's next? Like I got enough money coming in, I need something else, and so I wouldn't say I've got a plan for that, but it's on my mind so much more now. The idea of like how many people can I touch with this, and that's one of the most beautiful things about affiliate marketing is. Because you're not selling anything, I can touch thousands and thousands. I had like 80,000 views on YouTube this month, right? And it's all just me providing free training and not selling things to them. And so, I don't know if that answers your question, but that's kind of what happens naturally after you start being able to take care of yourself financially. Then your mind suddenly turns to like, okay, now I actually want to like my real focus. I want to help people get to where I'm at because this is great. This is awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, this is a common theme. I was telling like the last interview with Mike Metzger, like as an entrepreneur, it constantly evolves and changes because like we're not quitting and we're like keep going and life changes and gets better. So yeah, thanks so much guys for being live. Thanks Spencer for doing this. If you want any of his courses, just drop a comment below. We'll shoot you some links. And any last thing you want to tell people, like where to follow you, stay up to date?
Yeah, hop in the group. It's called Automation Nation. You can just search it in Facebook, and I really do try to provide just tons and tons of content and valuable stuff in there. So
perfect, man. Well, I'm going to end the broadcast. Thanks for tuning in, guys.